Created that smile for you. Good
Here it
evening,
is.
Ron.
Hi, Tasha. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I am good. I am good. It has been a great day. I had an amazing time. One of our viewers happened to be last week. Happened to be someone I went to high school with, and had me
Your
ask
high
me to
school
listen to
crew
his book.
always coming through.
Huh?
Your high school crew is always coming through.
My high school crew does come through. They do. My people's come through. My people's come through. But he enjoyed us last week. Asked me to listen to his book. Phenomenal book. We may have to have, but I'm telling you here now, we may have to have him on AQ chat because he talks a lot about stuff that we talk about for sure.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
Let's give him a shout out.
Oh, right? His name is Dion Candia. And dang, the name of the book is like, dang it, man, like from the
Dion Candia. Cool. I like you enjoyed the book. If we're doing big things, we want to, lift each other up. So
absolutely. And the book was narrated by our other high school friend, Jonathan Scott, Jay Scott. So it was absolutely wonderful. I will have to get that book and put it and promote it and have him on the show for sure. And so tonight, though, we are talking about 5 tips to get things done all the time. So if you're watching us, please join in the conversation. We always love to see the comments and have you all participate. All right, Tasha, tell me what you think about this topic.
Auntie's in the house. Good evening, Auntie.
Hi. Hi, Aunts. How are you?
Listen, the first thing that popped to my mind when you said the title is like, people are always like, how do you do so much?
Tasha, listen. Okay.
But listen, I said no to something tonight, something that is very near and dear to my heart. I literally said no. I was like, you know what? I want to, but I literally cannot do one more thing.
You cannot.
But I'll show up. I will support. I'm going to show up. So handle it. Put my name on the list, right? But people are like, how do you do so much? And so that was the first thing that popped into my head. And I think going through the tips tonight, definitely resonates with me and kind of how we move in life. Yeah. It might answer some questions for people.
Yeah. I think that sometimes people who see us think like we are all scheduled all the time. We're not, but there is a method to the madness for sure.
Mostly for me, but okay. Hey, Anthony. Hey, Aunt Sandra.
Hi, San. Hi, Anthony. Mostly for you. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into the first tip of the night, knowing your why. I'm going to let you talk about that.
We talk about this a lot.
We do?
Right, in our course. And I think over the course of our friendship, grown into a friendship, but accountability partnership, it's definitely been a focus for us to understand why we do the things we do. It keeps us going during the tough times. And I think I said last week, I can be dog tired on a Thursday, but all of a sudden I get some energy when it's time to go live, right? I can even put a smile on your face with, my smooth dance moves.
Smooth being the operative word. Listen, you don't do anything without having a good why. You don't stick to anything unless you have a good reason to do it, right? And that reason can't be met by anything else but getting this thing done. And that's just the best. So we've talked about this. There was a guy who wanted to stop smoking, but all the patches, all the smoking cessation classes didn't work. But when his daughter came in and said, "Daddy, I'm afraid you're going to die and you won't be able to walk me down the aisle," that's what it took. He had a why.
Right.
And that got him to change his habits. So knowing your why and really being honest with yourself about what your why is, right? Because losing weight to get into the bikini may not be strong enough. But losing weight so you don't get diabetes and you have to amputate your leg, that might do it.
And I think always keeping your why at the forefront. We talk a lot about accountability. It's important to, you share your goals and what you want to accomplish, but you also have to share your why with someone so that when times do get rough, they can remind you.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember,
this is what you said you wanted to do. Yeah.
Absolutely.
He is in the house. Good evening.
All right. Choose your battles.
What's that for you?
You can't do everything at one time. especially if you're new at trying to be consistent with some things and create some change. You got to just pick one thing
Yeah.
and just get good at getting consistent with one thing. If you try to stop smoking and lose weight all at the same time, may not be a winner for you.
Yep.
Might be a setup for a major fail, as a matter of fact. Choose one thing and take it one step at a time. What does it mean for you?
So I thought about I was reading and the lady said she really enjoyed listening to music, right? She listened to music every night. It was a habit of hers, right?
Yeah.
And then she just added something to that listening to music to make it kind of easy. So creating the habits, if you attach it to something else that you enjoy already or that is already a habit for you,
That's right.
it kind of helps ease into that 21 days, right, to create a habit. Good
Yeah.
evening, Miss Nan.
Hey, Miss Nat. I mean, so choosing your battles, doing one thing at a time, being clear about it, and knowing your why. All right. Tip number 3. Tasha's favorite word. Schedule is not a bad word.
For some people, you know,
You want to talk about schedule not being a bad word?
um, I definitely don't think schedule is a bad word. I'm a project manager innately. It is in my blood. It is how I've always operated in my life. I can even see it in my 5-year-old, right? This is just the way that we do things. And for me, I find comfort in a schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely don't think it's a bad word. If you really want to get something done, you have to plan for it, right?
Yes, for sure. I
So
mean,
that's all
and
this for me is just putting it in a plan for your day.
that's all it is, right? There are some, and we've had clients who've had difficulty with structure, right? We have one in particular who doesn't really feel comfortable with any level of structure, which is very hard for her to kind of get things done because she repels a structure so much.
Yeah.
However, a schedule it doesn't have to be restrictive. It doesn't mean that it lacks spontaneity. It doesn't have to be rigid. It can be the roadmap, though. I think that's the important thing, right? I think that there are some people who overschedule things and they become rigid
Yeah, or anxious when things don't go the way they planned.
and or anal, right? We can go on.
I'm working on it.
Wouldn't talk about you, but I'm just saying there are some people, right, who are just so right. Like I know someone who, when she goes on vacation, she wants to schedule all the time,
Oh yeah, no.
and that's a turnoff, right? And so when people come into contact and it's time for them to kind of go for things in their life, and you start talking to them about a schedule, they reflect on those anal retentive people who were just rigid and who can't break out of a schedule. And so we're here to say that's not what it has to be. It's a roadmap. It is simply, I'm going to try to go to the gym 3 times a week for 30 minutes a day.
Right.
Make it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and that's your schedule. Doesn't have to be more complicated.
Or it could be I want the 3 times this week and you're like, "Okay, I'm coming to the end of the week. It's already Thursday, so now I'm going to have to go Thursday, Friday, Saturday," right? Whatever that means for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad word, right? You guys jump in the conversation. Is schedule a bad word for you? If Gail is in the audience, I'm sure she'd say no. It's her favorite word. All right. Tip number 4. The voice in your head is not your friend.
I would like to put in not always your friend.
Okay, let's talk about it. What you saying?
I mean, sometimes the voice in your head can, you know how we have the good angel and the bad angel. That's the voice in your head, right? Sometimes there's a good voice in your head, but here what we're talking about is, that one is like you're really committed to getting up and meeting your accountability partner to work out at 6:30, but when the alarm goes off, you're like the voice in your head is like, she'll be fine if I don't show up today.
Right. Listen, that voice was in my head this morning. I had a good night's sleep last night. That alarm clock went off. Tasha and I work out in the morning. We had a 7:30 workout. We did. But, my alarm clock goes off at 7 o'clock. I did not want to get up. And we will grant each other grace sometimes. And sometimes we'll get that text message at 7:29. I'm going to have to pass.
Or Sharon will schedule it before she goes to sleep.
If I go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, because I have an Android, I can schedule my message at 6:30 in the morning to get to her. It's not going to happen, right? But I also know that I enjoyed myself the last quarter of the year. So I got to reel some stuff back in because it got a little out of hand, but it was a fun time while it lasted. Yes. For sure.
Anthony says, you schedule what's important to you, because if you fail to plan, then it's not important, right? And I think that goes to the Stephen Covey quote that we looked at the other day that said, don't prioritize your schedule your priorities.
Right? Absolutely. Go ahead, Anthony. And Gangsta E is in here with us tonight. Hey, Gangsta E. Got to have a plan.
I think her not at all speaks to the schedule. Like, schedule is not a bad word at all. Even in retirement, right? Life that doesn't require a schedule, you still have goals and things that you want to do, and so you schedule those things that are a priority to you.
Listen, the people I know who are retired, they got schedules. I don't know no retired people in my life without a schedule. One, she's 90.
Oh yes, but she has a schedule. She has a scheduled call every Sunday. Right?
That's true.
Priority for her.
That's right. It's a priority for them. But I got two aunts that are 90 years old. I got Aunt Mill. She's definitely got a schedule. Aunt Mill definitely has it. Aunt Edie does not have a schedule. She's just enjoying life as it comes. But the voice in your head. But going back to the voice in your head, right? It is the thing that will derail you, right? Yeah. Particularly if you're trying to start a new habit that you haven't been doing, right? If you're starting a new process, if you're going after a new goal, if there's a new objective, listen, that voice is going to come because you are changing your habits. And it's so important that you really get correct, which is why it's so important, like, not to take on too much. Focus on one thing, because that voice is going to come and you don't want to get derailed by it too much, for sure.
Yeah. And, I think it's going to lie to you. It's going to tell you that this feeling, oh, I'm really too tired. I really need to do this, or I really need to do that. Yeah. But what do they say sometimes? Feelings aren't facts.
Feelings aren't facts.
Right. Oh. The fact is that it is going to hurt a little bit, maybe sometimes, right? Or the fact is that what you're doing is good for you, or it is going to lead to what your ultimate goal is. And so stay on the path.
And I'm going to give one more example. I was just in a conversation with a good friend a couple days ago who's going through a lot, knows she's doing the wrong thing, knows what she's participating in is not healthy and has no possible great end to it, like knows it. But that voice in her head says, but wasn't it fun?
It's not worth it.
No, it's not worth it. It's not. But that voice in her head is so strong. She's willing to jeopardize so many things because the voice in her head says, oh, but wasn't that fun?
So what do we do? Can we dwell here for just a second?
Okay, let's go here for a second.
I mean, what do you do when that voice is in your head? How do you ignore it if you don't have the strength and willpower to ignore it, and you do that thing that feels good?
Wait, first off, Anthony said that internal voice can be your motivator or your enabler. Depends on the day.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, here's the beautiful thing. I have an accountability partner, right? So when it happened to me this morning, because it does happen, because that bed did feel good, I was like, I can't bail on Tasha, right? We hadn't been able to work out the first 3 days of the week. We had things that were going on. I can't bail. I got to do it. And we've committed to working out 5 days a week. So get up.
Yeah.
That's it. And I don't like the way my stomach looks right now. But in my head, I'm like, girl, but your stomach, and you do want to go someplace this summer, and you do want to put on a bathing suit, and you don't currently own one-piece bathing suit. So what you going to do? Get up.
I mean, the other thing I think that I will add is being transparent with those people that you trust, right?
For sure.
I think oftentimes we listen to the voice in our head, that negative voice in our head, because there's no one else countering what that negative voice is saying. And so if your girlfriend, for example, knows that what she's doing wrong, she's sharing it with you because she knows that what she's doing wrong and she wants the other opinion to come in and weigh heavily on her so that she doesn't continue. I mean, I would hope, right?
I
Maybe
sure
not in
hope
that
so.
particular situation, but I think that is a way to, you know, quiet down that negative voice in your head if you're honest and, transparent with someone that you trust.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
yeah,
it.
for sure. And I don't know what she's gonna do. I
Mm.
At this point, I'm just praying for her.
Yeah, we'll add her to the prayer list.
Yeah, put her at the top. Okay, now fifth and final tip: catch the wagon.
Yeah. If you fall off, don't just sit there and watch it roll down the street,
Yes,
right?
get your butt up and jump back on. Sometimes we get caught up in we fell off the wagon and we beat ourselves up. Oh my God, I didn't make it. Like my goal this month has been to burn 500 calories a day. I did not make one day. 500 calories a day for 30 days. I missed the day. But the next day I'm like, we got to do more.
Yeah.
That's
Listen,
it.
my watch was about to die, and I was like, whew, I gotta get this 500 before my watch died because once I put it down, I'm like, I'm gonna be sitting down for 2 hours and I won't be able to get it in.
Listen, last night before I went to bed, I got a new thing. I'll just put on the show for 30 minutes, whatever it is, and I'm just watching the show because I'm getting calories. This is it. This is a mover. I'm telling you, burn calories. I am straight Michael Jackson in the Jackson 5, and I'm watching Martin like this,
Right? I
trying
like
to
it.
stay on the wagon. But the important thing to remember is that the wagon, you can catch it. It's not leaving you behind. It's actually waiting for you to jump back on for sure.
Yeah. I mean, if you can still see it, reach for it. Get back up there. Get on it.
Yeah. So let's just go through the tips again really quick. Tip number 1, knowing your why. Tip number 2, choose your battle. Tip number 3, schedule is not a bad word. Tip number 4, the voice in your head is not your friend.
Nope.
Okay? And tip number 5, catch the wagon. You can, if you fall off, you can get back on.
Yeah,
You really
for
can.
sure. Listen, follow these 5 things and you can get stuff done
All the time.
all the time.
That's it.
We've been talking about it. You got your goals, right? You're committed. This is how you get it done.
This is
Right?
it. This
Yeah.
is the and let's be honest, it sounds easier said than done, particularly if it's something you haven't tried before or something you're new to, but it can be done one step at a time.
And
So,
with an accountability partner.
as always, you can follow us on social media
Oh, well,
at the Accountability
before they
Queen.
follow us, right?
Huh?
We talk about our course.
Give me a moment. What are you doing?
Well, this is the end. The follow us is at the end.
No, listen, can I switch it up a little bit? My God.
Go ahead.
Jeez. So as I was saying, follow us on Facebook and on Instagram, right? As well as YouTube. We also have a course.
Mind you, if I hadn't have said anything, she'd be like, why you ain't remind me?
That's what I would have done.
Yep. Gangsta E says she missed water aerobics yesterday, but she will be back on Monday. That's right. It's not too far from you, ma'am. Get back on the wagon.
That is right. That is right. All right. And you can go take our class. You can join up. We have an accountability course. Because listen, everyone can go at their own pace. And we have a course that lets you go through it at your own pace. You might be new to accountability. You're like, I don't know what these girls are talking about. They always talking about this. What is it? Go to bit.ly/AQ class. We're going to focus on 3 really strong methods: focus, accountability, and the pivot. Dang it, I messed up. You messed me up. I'm blaming you. It's you. It's you. It's you. But please go to bit.ly/AQ aqclass.com. So it's our pleasure tonight. Thank you everyone for joining us. Tasha.
Have a good evening. I'll see you in the morning, 7:30.
I'm blaming you. Oh, you messed me up. Bye. Good night, everybody.